This is Tom Fox. I'd like to welcome you to the newest addition to the Compliance Podcast Network, the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. Join us as we explore the latest trends from the Department of Justice, share some best practices, demystify complex compliance issues to help keep your organization doing business ethically and in compliance, and at the end of the day, more profitably. Tune in daily for your dose of compliance wisdom. Let's make compliance a little less daunting, one tip at a time. Now a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
In compliance, the value of anonymous reporting is undeniable. But with Ethico, anonymity doesn't mean a loss of connection. Our blinded, two-way communication fosters an environment of trust and confidentiality, encouraging open and honest dialogue. It's not just about receiving reports. It's about understanding the story behind each one, creating a culture of integrity and respect. Transform your approach to anonymous reporting with Ethico. Begin your journey at ethico.com/CPN, where you can book a demo, access an exclusive white paper by Tom Fox titled The ROI of Compliance, and utilize our free ROI calculator.
Today we take up the topic about how employees share information inside of a corporation. This answer to this question has important implications for every compliance practitioner and every compliance program. In the context of a 360-degree view of communications, the sharing of information is important to know the what, how, why, when, and where people share. So a key message is that companies do not write the way they speak and do not speak the language of their employees. Compliance can be seen as a brand, and brands and the people representing those brands need to change their language. If the focus on the title and the quality of the content, among other things, it will resonate with your audience. Sharing is a primary method to communicate and connect. In many far-flung international corporations, this is always a challenge, particularly for disciplines which can be viewed as home office overhead at best and the land of no at worst. Work to hone your message through social media. Part of this is based on experimenting on what message to send and how to send it. Another aspect is based upon the wave of all things, its development and coming to fruition in the early 1980s. It took some time to become popular, but once it was communicated to enough of a disparate audience, it literally took off. It's the same thing with social media. On social media, we think about something going viral because the art is beautiful or the science is full of deep analytics. But at the end of the day, it takes time to build that community, and that's what you need to do as a compliance professional going forward. This means you need to hone your message to continue and plug away at that message. The Morgan Stanley declination will always be instrumental as one of the stated reasons the Department of Justice did not prosecute the company was that the company sent out 35 compliance reminders to its workforce on a specific issue over 7 years. So that's 5 per year. That is not going to cause compliance fatigue, and social media can be used in the same cost-effective way to not only get out your message of compliance, but also to receive information back. So once again, we see that the sharing of information is part of this 360-degree view of communications. It's both outbound and inbound. It is both down the chain of your employees, but it's also back up the chain. So make yourself as available as you can on multiple platforms. This month's sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, including this podcast, is Ethico. Have you ever wondered about the ROI of your compliance program or had concerns with presenting budget proposals to your CFO? Well, I partnered with Ethico to write a white paper on the ROI of compliance and how you can think through compliance as an investment strategy. Ethico has put together a ROI calculator for you. Check them out on the website. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The compliance tip of the day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network.